Hey everyone, this is Lola. In this video, you are going to learn how to conjugate regular ER verbs in the present tense. We're also going to take a look at the negative, inversion or interrogative, and inversion in the negative or negative interrogative. We're going to work with the verb regarder, which is a regular ER verb. Regarder means to watch or look at. And the general rule with ER verbs is that you drop the ER and add the endings E, ES, E, ONS, EZ, ENT, which I'm going to show you now. So here we have je and the verb regarder in the infinitive form. And what I mean by that is that it ends with ER. So what we need to do with this is we need to drop this ER. And when you drop it, it looks like this. Then we are going to add E, so it becomes je regarde, and now it's conjugated. And that means I watch. We've done the same thing here. We have tu regardes, we've taken off the ER, and we've replaced it with ES, so it becomes tu regardes, you watch. Once again, dropping the ER, we get il regarde, elle regarde, qui regarde, and on regarde. Notice that we've taken off the ER in each one. We then add an E to each one, so it becomes il regarde, elle regarde, qui regarde, on regarde. And you can see the translations here into English. Onto the plural side, we have nous regarde. We've taken off the ER. And we add ONS, nous regardons. Then we have vous regarde. We've taken off the ER and added EZ to make it vous regardez, you watch. Taking off the ER here, it becomes il regarde and elle regarde. We had dropped the ER and now we're going to replace it with ENT, so it becomes il regarde and elle regarde. Notice how I pronounce that. It's not il regardant, elle regardant. The ENT is very silent. Il regarde, elle regarde. And both of these mean they watch. So these are some other regular ER verbs, and you can do the same thing here where you drop the ER and you add the endings EES, ONS, EZ, ENT. The first one we have is jouer, and jouer means to play. Parler, to talk or speak. Demander, to ask. Écouter, to listen. Rester, to stay. Travailler, to work. Trouver, to find. Donner, to give. Penser, to think. And arriver, to arrive. Remember that there are many, many more ER verbs that are regular. We've just listed a couple here for your info. Note the exceptions at the bottom. Manger, to eat, becomes nous mangeons with the letter E-O-N-S, and commencer becomes nous commençons with a CCZ under the C. So now you can practice conjugating the verbs and see how you do. The next two slides will give you the conjugated versions of the verbs jouer and parler. So you can just put this on a pause right now and try those two out. Here is jouer conjugated in the present tense, and jouer means to play. Je joue, tu joues, il joue, elle joue, qui joue, on joue. Nous jouons, vous jouez, il joue, elle joue. And here is parler, which means to talk or speak in the present tense. It is again a regular ER verb. Je parle, tu parles, il parle, elle parle, qui parle, on parle. Nous parlons, vous parlez, il parle, elle parle. Let's take a look at regarder in the negative form. So to make a sentence negative, you must add the words ne or an apostrophe and pas or jamais, which surround the verb. We are going to stick with the verb regarder to do this, since you've already done it in the positive. So in the positive, this is what it looked like. Je regarde. So we put the ne before the verb regarde. So this is regarde, the verb, and we're going to put the ne before the regarde. And the pas goes after regarde. So here's regarde, that's the verb, and the pas goes after. So basically, the ne and the pas surround the verb. Je ne regarde pas, I don't watch. Again, we have it in the positive, tu regardes. The ne goes before regarde, the pas after regarde, tu ne regardes pas. You don't watch. Il regarde, the ne before regarde, the pas after regarde, il ne regarde pas. He doesn't watch. And we continue to do the same thing for the rest. Elle ne regarde pas, qui ne regarde pas, on ne regarde pas, nous ne regardons pas, vous ne regardez pas, il ne regarde pas, elle ne regarde pas. Now let's take a look at the verb regarder in the inversion form or interrogative. And all that means is that it's now going to be a question. So to make a sentence in the inversion or interrogative form, making it a question, you must invert or flip the subject and the verb. And once again, we are going to stick with the verb regarder. So in the normal sense, we see that it's je regarde, which you've already learned. So to make it inversion, we're going to flip these two. And when you flip it, this is what it looks like. So the je comes after the regarde. So it becomes regarde je. And we've put a dash in between and a question mark at the end. Do I watch? Tu regardes, which is in its normal positive form. We flip it and it becomes regardes-tu. Do you watch? Il regarde in its normal form becomes regarde-t-il. You'll notice here that there's a T in between regarde and il. And the reason for that is because regarde ends with a vowel, with the letter E, and il starts with a vowel, the letter I, so you must put a T in between. So it becomes, again, regarde-t-il. And we will do the same for the next few. Does he watch? Regarde-t-elle? Does she watch? Regarde-t-on? Does one watch? Regardons-nous? Do we watch? Regardez-vous? Do you watch? Regarde-t-il? Do they watch? Regarde-t-elle? Do they watch? Now we're going to take a look at inversion form in the negative or negative interrogative. So it's still a question, but we're making it negative. To make a sentence negative in the inversion or negative interrogative form, you must add the word ne or an apostrophe before the verb and pas or jamais after the subject. So this is the positive, like it's in the interrogative form, but it's in a positive way. So regarde je. So now to make it negative, we put the ne before the verb regarde. So there it is, ne before regarde, that's your verb. And the pas goes after the subject. Here's your subject or pronoun je. So there's the pas after that. So ne regarde je pas. Do I not watch? So we had regardes-tu, now we have the ne before the regarde. Ne regardes-tu, and we're going pas. So it becomes ne regardes-tu pas. Do you not watch? Ne regarde-t-il? The ne comes before the regarde, and the pas after the pronoun il. Ne regarde-t-il pas? Does he not watch? We continue doing the same for everything else, the ne before the verb and the pas after the pronoun or subject. Ne regarde-t-elle pas? Ne regarde-t-on pas? Ne regardons-nous pas? Ne regardez-vous pas? Ne regarde-t-il pas? Ne regarde-t-elle pas? We're going to take a look at examples of sentences. So we have the verb jouer here, which means to play. Jouer is a regular ER verb. We have tu joues au basketball. You are playing basketball, or you play basketball. Tu ne joues pas au basketball. This obviously is in the negative form. So you do not play basketball, or you are not playing basketball. In the inversion form, joues-tu au basketball? Do you play basketball? And finally, negative interrogative. Ne joues-tu pas au basketball? Do you not play basketball? Or don't you play basketball? Now we have the verb manger, and it's a regular ER verb, but there is an exception to this. So we're going to take a look at it right now. So here we have nous mangeons une pomme. Now you will notice that I've asked you before to take off the ER, and with nous you're supposed to have ONS, but here it says EONS, and that's just a rule in French. Because it ends with a G over here, when we take off the ER, we can't just put ONS, because then it would be nous mangeons une pomme, and that doesn't make any sense. So we add the letter E, so it's a little bit more subtle, and it becomes nous mangeons une pomme. And that rule would apply to other verbs as well that have the G at the end when you take off the ER. So again, nous mangeons une pomme, we eat an apple, or we are eating an apple. Nous ne mangeons pas de pomme, we are not eating an apple. And here you'll notice the ne before the mangeons, the verb, and the pas after it. You also notice the de over here. And when you make a sentence negative, when you have une, the rule is you must change it to de or d apostrophe if, say, this noun here, apple, the word pomme in French started with a vowel. So nous ne mangeons pas de pomme. We don't eat an apple. In the inversion form, mangeons-nous une pomme? Do we eat an apple? And finally, in the negative, ne mangeons-nous pas de pomme? Do we not eat an apple? And again, you can see the une over here changed to de in the negative. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this a thumbs up if you liked it, and please subscribe to my channel.